chiamo Tommaso Carano. Io sono nato in New York, ma vivo in California. Those were the words I said 25 years ago when I went to visit Italy for the first time. Growing up in New York, I was born in Brooklyn, and I come from an Italian family predominantly, and they were from a predominantly Italian neighborhood. So I got to know the people, the food, the festivals, the different uh, St. Rocco feast, San Gennaro feast, all different feasts and all the different food, the garlic knots and the zeppelins and everything else that goes with it, all this awesome food, and so I just enjoyed my culture, and I always looked for others who were part of that culture uh, and the contributions that they made to America, and I would take pride in them making a difference here in the United States. Um, I moved to California in 1986 to pursue an acting career. After seeing Top Gun, after taking some acting classes at a community college, I thought I want to be the next Tom Cruise. A couple of my friends were coming out to California, and we just got an apartment right on Hollywood Boulevard, right on Sunset Boulevard between Hollywood, over by La Brea, just the heart of it, the heart of Hollywood, mostly, and just to pursue a career, like I said, to become the next Tom Cruise. In the process, I had to work some odd jobs. I worked as a busboy at the Hard Rock Cafe. That was fun. I would meet people from different cultures. Also worked at a hotel, and I met people from Honduras, and my coworkers were from El Salvador and Guatemala and Egypt and the Philippines. And so I was getting exposed to all these other different cultures, which was a great thing because growing up where I did, I was kind of like in a bubble. And so I came across all these diverse groups and made friendships with people from other cultures. And then I pursued the career probably for about 7 to 10 years, and it just wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't working on a basis where I can support myself. So I started looking into sales. So I got a sales job selling at a wholesale bakery, and that was fine for 2 years. The company went Chapter 11, so I had to look for another job. And while I was looking for another job, my uncle had approached me and said, you know, there's still a entry-level position at Merrill Lynch. So I thought, okay, might as well go for it. I'm kind of putting this acting thing on the side. So I did that for a couple of years. I just couldn't do it though. I was actually supposedly going to be in operations, but I worked cashier at the office there, and just the stress levels, just wasn't really getting the big picture of the whole thing of operations, and but I still had the acting bug. So I think that most of all just kind of pulled me out of there, and so I left Merrill Lynch and I got back into doing some acting. I worked at Starbucks, um, and then in that time I found my friends who had left the acting. They got involved in teaching, and so I saw their lifestyles. I had already been mentoring young adults at my church, and so I knew I could mentor the youth, and that, and having the summers off to travel. A friend of mine was working at a high school, and during the summers she would go on mission trips to Africa and India, and I thought, wow. And you get paid for that too? You get a check over the summer? And I thought, wow, isn't that cool? You get paid, you come home from a mission trip, and there's a check waiting for you. But then I found out what it was like to be in the classroom for the 10 months, and feel like it's definitely well deserved, those paychecks coming over the summer. So I went in a teaching path, and have been teaching for 10 years. And in that time period, I had taught in Watts, and which was probably about 70% Hispanic and 30% African American. I got involved in different programs, AMP, and just to better serve the communities that I was working in. got riffed several times, ended up in Boyle Heights, and it was there that I first got introduced to an instructional leadership team, where it was kind of a more organized leadership capacity, where things were getting done and things were in order, and so I enjoyed that process. Some friends, my coworkers, asked me if I wanted to get involved in the program too, but at the time I knew I was going to have to leave the school because of funding, and so I went to my next school, which is at Diego Rivera in South Central, and it was there within a smaller teaching community, 25 teachers, that I got even more exposed to leadership. And there were other leaders at the school who were at Dominguez Hills, and they pretty much corralled me into this. I know we joke from time to time in class that, or just recently in our vision class, that we feel like it chose us and we didn't choose it, or we felt like we didn't have any other choice but to step up and step into this. And so it's been a great beginning. Already learning tools that I'm putting in my classroom and skills at department meetings, and I look forward to getting to know you all and learning more about the different capsules. Thank you.